Welcome back to the channel for another video today. Of course, we're back talking about Wrexham Football Club today. I'm going to be bringing you sort of a roundup video, a couple of topics regarding Wrexham Football Club, a couple of interesting topics as well. So before we get going in today's video, if you're new to the channel and if you haven't clicked the red subscribe button already, please consider doing so. We're something like 200 away from hitting 26,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can hit 400 likes on today's video. And without further ado, let's get talking Wrexham Football Club. So we're going to be starting off with a bit of transfer gossip regarding Wrexham Football Club. Now, according to an inside source, Wrexham is set to battle it out to sign young striker Oliver Lynch, who is currently on loan at National League South side Hemel Hempstead from Luton Town. Now, Lynch is a 19-year-old striker that's attracted interest from a few different sides, of course, from his form this season on loan at Hemel Hempstead. Wrexham, of course, being one of those. Wrexham have sent scouts out to Hemel Hempstead to watch Oliver Lynch in action already, alongside Championship side West Bromwich Albion. They're the only two clubs that have had their interest well documented online. Of course, Wrexham being one of those clubs. Lynch stands at 6'5", so he's a very tall striker, of course, at 19 years old, and has been praised by manager Lee Allington for his relentless work rate up front and his good eye for goal. So far this season in the National League South, Oliver Lynch has 5 goals in 6 games. Of course, he's on loan from Luton under-23s. Prior to his time at Hemel Hempstead, he's had loan spells at Dulwich Hamlet and Hitchin Town, but this is the season where he's really kicking on at sort of a higher level. Although it's only National League South, it's higher than, the level that Dulwich Hamlet and Hitchin Town are in. I think they're the league below the National League South in the Isthmian Premier, so he's got that step up. He's really impressing in front of goal and leading the line really well for Hemel Hempstead. And there's not too much information to give you about Oliver Lynch, of course, from a National League South team, and of course being on loan from an under-23s, there's not going to be a lot of well documented information on Oliver Lynch. But if he does continue this rich vein of form that he is on at Hemel Hempstead, I'm sure we'll hear a lot about Oliver Lynch as the months goes on. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting situation. Of course, Wrexham have a lot of strikers on the books at the minute. I don't think Lynch would come in and fight for that spot in the starting 11, whether he'd go sort of with the youth team or whether he would jump straight into the squad, we really don't know. If he continues to impress, then we've known in the past there's a lot of gems in non-league that have had no issue in making that step up from non-league to that higher levels in the EFL. So could Lynch be one of those players? We really don't know at this moment in time. Talking on the EFL Trophy, or the Virtue Trophy if you want to call it, Wrexham have progressed to the final 4 of the Virtue Trophy after a tight 1-0 home win. A game that I thought going into this there's a good chance that Wrexham would lose this, because of course both teams are going to rotate. Bolton have that new manager bounce under Stephen Schumacher, so I thought they were going to be up for it. They put like a promotion video on Twitter before, so they were really up for this, and there's no doubt Wrexham, no one's going to turn down the trip to go to Wembley. And Wrexham, of course, made a lot of changes to that team. We'll get talking later on that, but a home tie against Peterborough in this semi-final awaits, with the opportunity to play under the Wembley arch yet again for Wrexham Football Club. If I'm right in saying that's 5 visits to Wembley in the past 12-13 years for Wrexham. Talking on the game itself, I thought there wasn't really much in the game. Of course, both teams had a couple of half chances throughout the game, but I think when it opened up towards the last 20 minutes, Bolton were going for it, and of course there were spaces opening up for Wrexham to counter, and a moment of brilliance from Andy Cannon was the moment that of course separated the two sides and sent Wrexham into the semi-final of the Virtue Trophy. I recall that late chance for Bolton where he flashed it across the goal, and I don't know who it was, McAtee I think it was, played the ball, but there was a player so close from tapping it in on the line. We were so lucky in those circumstances, but it was a good win, and a good opportunity for a lot of players that might not have had league minutes for the past 2 or 3 months to get in that starting 11, get a full 90 minutes under their belt. And it is crazy to look at that lineup that we fielded against Bolton and to think there were 10 changes made from our away game at Crawley Town in the league is genuinely ridiculous. For a second string team, that lineup probably could have easily got a top half finish in League One this season. I mean, you look at the quality in that starting 11, you've got Andy Cannon, you've got Jack Marriott, who started the season off really well, Arthur Okonkwo coming back in, the back line as well, Dan Scarr. It's just genuinely ridiculous the depth that we've sort of developed over the past couple of seasons, and we're so fortunate to be in such a good position in the league and being able to strengthen in the January transfer window. Mo Farrell and Jack Marriott started the game, and yes, things weren't really going too well up front, but they're 2 good strikers. And you look at the bench, and then you've got Jay Rodriguez and Sam Smith coming on. Our depth, especially in the striking department at Wrexham Football Club, is massive, and investing in new strikers in the January transfer window was something we expected, but now you look at our striking options and it is genuinely a joke. And if we're talking on our semi-final now against Peterborough United, it's a semi-final. Form goes out the window. Yes, Wrexham are on form in League One, and yes, Peterborough are out of form in League One towards the end of the table, but I think form, like I said, goes out the window. It's a one-off. It's going to be 90 minutes of both teams going out trying to win the game. It's a high stakes game. There's a big reward at the end of it. You know, to play a final, which, let's be honest, is going to be against Birmingham City. It's going to be a packed Wembley. Birmingham will no doubtedly sell out their end. You want to be in these big situations, so I think both teams are definitely going to give it a right good go. I think we'll see sort of a full lineup from both teams, and you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot at stake, and I think it will be a good game, and I think hopefully we'll see goals, and hopefully again see Wrexham progress to the final. Talking now on some pitch news. Now, CEO Michael Williamson has confirmed Wrexham will invest over £1 million on a new hybrid pitch. Williamson said there's a lot of things going on into a very top level pitch here at the racecourse. We're redoing the drainage system and putting a state-of-the-art underground heating system in place. He also said the pitch will be state-of-the-art and it will meet FIFA and UEFA requirements to allow international matches to be hosted at the racecourse ground. Of course, it seems to be 2 in 1 in sort of, you know, building the Cop stand up to have international matches and of course installing the new pitch. They were things that were both guaranteed in this sort of Cop redevelopment project, and of course we all want Wales to, you know, play in North Wales again. We want that home of football for Wales to be in North Wales predominantly, and I think this is a massive step. Of course, a new pitch being relayed and a 5,500 seater Cop stand, it all points towards Wales having, you know, Euro, World Cup qualifiers, Nations League, even friendlies. There will be a lot of international football once this new pitch is laid, and of course once the Cop stand is up. He also said as well, it's the same type of pitch we had at the San Siro, home of Inter Milan and AC Milan, a stitch pitch that is hybrid grass and a stitch pitch where artificial grass meets FIFA and UEFA requirements. The advantage of it is that it allows us to have more durability and sustainability of the pitch. So it looks like Wrexham are of course up in their game in terms of taking that one step further to be a Championship Premier League club with a pitch. Of course, we've seen the pitch issues we've had on the past. It's well documented on Welcome to Wrexham. We've had some issues in the past, and I think we're really lucky to have really good groundsmen and to have a really good pitch week in, week out. They put so much hard work in. This is a massive step. I think this is a huge step from what we do currently already have. And as well, Wrexham are advertising for new groundsmen, so could that be, you know, pointed towards this pitch is going to be taken care of really well. Of course it needs to, and of course it will require people to be constantly working on it to maintain it at a high level, and of course be able for the players to walk in, week out of the racecourse ground and play on it and have no issue at all. So talking now on an interesting topic, this is what you clicked on the video to see. We're going to be bringing some interesting news regarding the value of Wrexham Football Club. Now, according to football finance expert Kieran Maguire, Wrexham Football Club is now valued between 20 and 30 million pound, and if Rob and Ryan wanted to sell the club today, they would recoup their losses, which I think is genuinely ridiculous to say, because they came in originally with a £2 million investment in 2021 to Wrexham Football Club, and they immediately got down to work in terms of rebuilding the squad. They invested heavily in, of course, new pitches. They've been boosting this Cop stand to be up for a while now. They, of course, have grown the club brand across the whole of the world. Our social media presence is probably one of the biggest in the EFL, if not even teams in the Premier League as well. They've got a documentary. £2 million to them was probably a really small investment, but they obviously saw the vision to take Wrexham to, of course, a £20-30 million club in League One, and that number will only rise if we gain promotion to the Championship. And you think how much we could be worth if we do reach the Premier League one day, with, you know, with the documentary coming in hand, and of course the social media growth at Wrexham Football Club. But of course, to every happy story there is going to be a sad part to it. Between 2020 and 2023, the losses at Wrexham Football Club stood at £8 million. One of the main reasons why Wrexham lost so much money between that period of time is the investment into the squad. We invested a lot of money, you know, over the past couple of years into the squad, the wages, the transfer fees to players, to allow us to have that competitive squad and to, you know, maintain that competitiveness in the squad as time goes on and build competition in the squad and maintain that quality to get us to the EFL, which is exactly what's happened. And I think it might sound stupid, but yes, £8 million has been spent. You look at the investment into the squad, how many players that we signed in League 2 or the National League are in this squad that are competing at the top end of League 1. I think the transfer strategy and the recruitment at Wrexham Football Club over the past couple of years has been really, really good, despite the amount of money that probably has been spent on us. But I think the interesting part of all this is Maguire further stated that the true nature of Robin Ryan's losses is far more costly. He estimated they've sunk 20 million into the total project at Wrexham Football Club since first taking over the club, but remarkably they could still walk away from Wrexham Football Club today in profit, which I think is genuinely ridiculous. I said it on my last video as well. You look at football owners, it is basically, if you're going to buy a football club, you are signing off to lose a lot of money. You're signing off, of course, to be in debt. You should never expect to buy a football club and see it as a business move where you're going to gain profit. But somehow in this situation, of course, Wrexham Football Club have been so lucky in terms of having that documentary, growing the worldwide brand of Wrexham. Merch sales are through the roof. We sell tens and thousands of shirts each season. We've got 13,000 through the gate every single week. We've just grown the brand of the club on a worldwide scale, and to think that they could walk away in profit, to me, is just ridiculous. And of course, you look at this as well, the £11.3 million investment from the Allen family, of course, has helped us meet the financial demands to compete in the higher leagues of the EFL. Of course, they came in, and we can sort of gather the indication there, £11.3 million. A lot of that was possibly, used in the January transfer window. We made some big signings, of course, in the transfer window. Ryan Longman from Hull City, Sam Smith from Reading for a reported £2 million. Jay Rodriguez is reportedly on £15,000 a week. So if Wrexham were serious about getting that promotion straight away to the Championship, I think investment was needed in the January transfer window, and I think this is money well spent. Of course, you've got Rodriguez bringing into the squad a lot of experience, so much experience in the Premier League and in the Championship. Sam Smith, a natural goal scorer, 60 plus goals in the past 4 seasons, and Ryan Longman, a player that's impressed for Hull City as well on loan at Millwall in the Championship. He is a Championship quality player, and we've seen glimpses of what Ryan Longman can bring to this Wrexham team. So those further additions, in my opinion, just takes us that one step further and that one step ahead of possibly some of the teams around us in the table. So back on the topic of Robin Ryan's investments, it is still genuinely crazy to think that their £2 million investment 4 years ago today has now gone so high to the fact that the club is now worth around £30 million. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If Wrexham were to reach the Championship, how much do you think the club is going to be worth? Of course, once the COP is up, that's going to, of course, take us to a lot higher. In terms of value, of course, when Wales are playing at the Racecourse Ground when the COP is up, yeah, we're living in special times at Wrexham Football Club, and it still doesn't feel real to say that Wrexham Football Club are worth between £20 and £30 million. If you'd have said that 5 years ago, God knows what we'd have thought of happened to the football club. We wouldn't have had a clue what would have happened, but yeah, here we are. We're taking every single day as it comes, and we're appreciating and loving every single day being a Wrexham fan now, because it is one hell of a journey and something you probably won't see again in football. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to get down there as well and click the red subscribe button. And if you would like to support the channel further, it'll be the first thing in the description down below. I cannot thank you enough for everyone that has supported the channel so far this season. There's plenty more content to come, but until then, take care guys, up the town.